You know, I'm not quite sure whether it's Adam Driver or his agent, but whichever one it is, they've got great taste. So The Report is directed by Scott Z. Burns and stars Adam Driver as idealistic Senate staffer Daniel J. Jones, who tasked by his boss to lead an investigation into the CIA's post-9/11 detention and interrogation program, uncovers some shocking secrets. So The Report is a new movie on Amazon Prime, and this film has been out for a little while now, but I've only just got around to watching it, and again, seeing that there's no new movies to release, I thought I might as well give this a review, as this was a movie I really loved. And this was a movie I thought I was going to like, because, I mean, it's Adam Driver for one. Adam Driver is literally my favourite actor. Of course I was going to watch this, but I didn't expect to really get truly invested in this story and in this character like I did in The Report. Adam Driver is once again absolutely fantastic in this film. I mean, Adam Driver is just one of those actors for me who's just so reliable. I will watch anything he does. I mean, when I first was introduced to him via Star Wars, I knew this guy was awesome. And as time went on, as the years went on, I just started to get into more and more of his films. I watched Logan Lucky, which was a really funny movie with him. I then went on to watch Black Klansman, and that was then when I discovered Patterson, which quickly became one of my favorite films of all time. And now with Adam Driver, he's just in a point in his career now where I will literally watch anything he does. I'm such a huge fan of his. And in this film, he delivers a very quiet and very subdued performance, which is very representative of his character in the movie as well. His character is very, very unsuspecting. And that kind of performance is something that Adam Driver really excels at. His character just feels like he's not exactly out there. He feels like he's very much behind the scenes, which is something that this movie really delves in, and something that is very thematic throughout the movie is what goes on behind the scenes, things that the public don't see, things that we don't know about. And Adam Driver, his performance in this movie and his character within the film really reflects that theme, and I think that it's really cool to see Adam Driver get a role like this where he's able to truly excel. And also, Adam Driver as an actor is someone who I can really get behind, because I feel like his acting style is very therapeutic and very relaxing and very kind of soothing. If you've seen Patterson, that movie is just so chill, and a lot of that kind of comes from Adam Driver. I find Adam Driver a very chill actor overall, and I feel like that this is kind of just under Patterson as one of his most chilled out roles. Even though he does have some fantastic scenes throughout where he has a couple of outbursts and things like that, it's still incredibly quiet. And that makes it an incredibly chill performance to watch, and I really appreciated that, and Adam Driver is just once again knocking it out of the park here. And this film surprised me with the level of cast that it had. I didn't know so many actors were in this. I mean, Annette Bening absolutely kills it in this movie as always. John Hamm is great. T. Blake Nelson shows up for some reason, and it's just, there's some really good casting throughout here. There's just every now and then you'll be watching this movie and one actor will show up, and then another actor will show up, and then another actor will show up, and it's just like a Russian roulette of just actors who are really cool. Like Corey Stoll shows up at one point. There's just like some really good actors throughout the entire film, and it just kind of keeps you on your toes. Also, with a film like this, which deals with, deep government secrets from the American government and, dealing with post 9/11 torture reports and things like that, it's a very sensitive subject and something that people may not exactly be ready for either. It's something that when you watch the movie, a lot of things get revealed and a lot of things get spoken about, and obviously this is a movie, sometimes things are changed and flipped around, so we don't know entirely what this story was, and we don't know how much was changed and things like that. I believe this was based on a novel or a book, so I'm assuming that is probably where you want to go to, but I feel like that this film, it just reveals certain things which definitely changes your mindset on a lot of things. You don't exactly sympathize with the terrorists, you don't exactly start empathizing with Al-Qaeda and its members, but you start to kind of think about, how the American government handled the situation, and you start to realize the fact that maybe things weren't exactly as black and white as you may have first thought, and that is really interesting. That's a really great way to go with this film, and I think that Adam Driver, again, his character, what he's able to go through, and the way his kind of inner psyche gets kind of changed and messed with throughout the movie, and you kind of see him by the end of it, he kind of just is completely different. He's a completely different person by the end of it, just because of the amount of things he's uncovered, the amount of work he's doing, and the amount of things he's discovering about his own government that he works for. It's really kind of interesting to watch and really cool to see. And again, I think that the way the film tells the story definitely allows you to open your eyes a little bit more. And this film's really well written as well. I think for a movie like this, the script has to be good, because again, this movie isn't exactly action heavy. This movie is a lot of people just talking, and, it's kind of interesting because this film is all about this report that Adam Driver's character is making and putting together, this torture report. And, the idea of going through this 500-page report sounds super boring in real life. And this movie kind of reflects that in a lot of ways. Like, a lot of the characters in this film just don't want to go through this report because it's so big. Like, Adam Driver's character has collected so much information that the people in the movie just don't even want to look at it because they know there's just so much in there, and also a lot of it is incriminating. And this movie kind of has that style to it, because it's not particularly action heavy, and because the film isn't exactly, you know, thrilling from scene to scene. The dialogue has to be fantastic, and luckily for the report, it is. And because it is, it allows the movie to be thrilling without having any typical or generic thrilling scenes. The film is actually just a lot more about being focused on the dialogue and the story, and if you're able to get behind that and behind the character of Daniel J. Jones, you'll be able to really get invested in this character and in this storyline like I certainly did. And this film is also produced by Steven Soderbergh, which again I think is really telling of Steven Soderbergh's kind of eye for talent, because this film, it's one of those films that Steven Soderbergh would do. He doesn't direct it, but he does produce it. And I think that this film is kind of in the lines of stuff like that he's done. Stuff like High Flying Bird and things like that, where he just kind of discovers these stories and these films that are a bit more out there, but kind of really engaging and just really great to watch. And I think The Report kind of comes into that as well. So if you've watched anything else recently that Steven Soderbergh has produced, like I said, High Flying Bird, which was a Netflix movie that came out last year, if you watched anything like that, I think if you enjoyed those films, you will really like The Report as well. So overall, I thought The Report was fantastic. I was so happy that it came out as good as it did, because I was really looking forward to this movie. I remember, I believe it was first debuted at Sundance in 2018, and I remember just having my eye on it ever since then, and Amazon bought it, and I was really happy to see them buy it, because Amazon do have a really good, they really have a good choice as well, and, you know, I was going to watch this movie regardless. It's Adam Driver. I was going to watch it anyway. But the fact that this film, you know, has that really great storyline throughout, a really interesting one as well that you're going to find things out about, it's just one of those films that I feel like everybody should really watch and have a go at, because it's just one of those films that you'll come away from it not only more knowledgeable, but also kind of changed a little bit, and I think that this film really does a good job with that. So I think that you should definitely check out The Report. It's on Amazon Prime. Go check it out. It's really good, and overall, I'm going to give The Report a 9 out of 10. So have you guys seen The Report? If you have, make sure to let me know all your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Did you enjoy it or did you not? Whatever you thought about it, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always guys, if you want to see more movie reviews and movie related videos just like this one, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload from me. And I hope to see you guys again next time.